some of our students here at the high school. Tonight I have Elizabeth Ondoma and her mother Sissy here with us today. And so I want to share just a little bit about why Elizabeth is here, and then I'm going to give you an opportunity I'm going to give her an opportunity to talk a little bit about that. So Elizabeth was nominated for the Congress of Future Medical Leaders to serve as a delegate for the state of Iowa. So I want to share just a little bit more about what that means. The Congress is an honors-only program for high school students who want to become physicians or go into medical research fields. So Elizabeth's nomination was signed by Dr. Mario Capecci, winner of the Nobel Prize in Medicine and the Science Director of the National Academy of Future Physicians and Medical Scientists, to represent Iowa based on her academic achievement, leadership potential, and determination to serve humanity in the field of medicine. Not your average everyday teenage type of engagement. So at this time, I would like to bring Elizabeth out here and congratulate her on this nomination. Congratulations. Okay, Elizabeth, I'll let you talk just a little bit about this.
Yeah, as he said, I'm a freshman at Mason City High School, and I'm so honored to be speaking to all of you guys about my nomination. Kind of just going over what he said, I was nominated, but I didn't apply, so it was like a Hogwarts letter. It flew in through the mail, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, actually, it came in a package, and I thought it was for my dad, because he's a doctor, because it said medical blah, 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 so I was about to hand it over and be like, oh, here's another letter, and I was like, Elizabeth? I don't know another Elizabeth in this house. So I was like, okay, it's for me. And I opened it up and I'm like, wow, a medical future leader. And I was like, that is a very big title. I've always been interested in STEM. I think it's kind of flowed in and out of science to medical science to kind of engineering. I love space, astrophysics. I did a piloting camp once. So I think it kind of flowed back into medical science around maybe late 8th grade year. And that's also kind of when I applied for the Balin Blank summer camp, and that was canceled due to COVID, but I think that's kind of where they got the information about me. And maybe even when I took ACTs, that's probably where they got the information about me, but I didn't sign up for it, so it was a big surprise. Usually the Congress takes place at Harvard, so you go to Massachusetts over the weekend, but this year it was virtual. Big surprise. We love COVID. No, we don't. Okay. So we do get to stay home, which is nice. You get to sleep in instead of having to wake up an hour ahead of when you usually do. But yeah, so it was a virtual Congress. It ran through 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and we got to meet some like amazing medical leaders, medical scientists. Starting for Saturday, it was more focused on the science part. So we got to learn about a mixture of young medical leaders and older medical leaders. One girl who really inspired me, Jitangli Rao, who is 15 years of age, and she won the, I think it was the Google Challenge for Science. She created, when the disaster in Flint, Michigan got exposed for lead contamination, she created a tool to help detect lead in those pipelines, and that was used all over Flint. And then also she is working, or she has created an opioid addiction like sensor to help people with those addictions that they can do at home tests to see whether they're addicted or not. Amazing stuff, and she's 15. And then we also met older guys who are like pre-World War II. Do you know they're still there? Dr. Capecci, in fact, he is the one who led to the big STEM, the big STEM discovery, where the stem cells that can be used and replicated in almost every animal or mammal. And it was really fascinating to see the science that's brought into medicine, not just, what we see pharmaceutical stuff or, doctor checkups. You really get to see the amazing research that's put into it. The second day was put into surgery. It was more focused on getting into the bodies, and we got to watch some live surgeries, which was really cool. We got commentary on it. I think we met the U.S. women's soccer national team's orthopedic surgeon. Really cool. We saw him. The interesting thing about orthopedic surgeon, I have definitely decided is not for me. You cut into the person, you take the bone out, and then you pound it back in with a hammer. That does not sound very. They should probably tell you to consent to that before you get to that building. I feel like people, yeah, no, I don't like hammering things. So yeah, that was really fascinating to me. And we also got to see some neurosurgery, some heart surgery. I'm more interested in the science part of medicine. I'm really interested in neurosciences and psychiatry and how the brain responds to outside kind of forces and how our brain is molded as we grow up and as we kind of develop as human beings. So I'm really into that. Outside of this and in school, I do soccer. I just came back from soccer, so I'm really hot. And I'm in band. I'm in concert band. I love playing music. Not as much as my brother, but I really do enjoy music. Yeah, I think I'm a well-rounded person. I like to debate. I like to do public speaking. I like being the center of attention. Yeah, it's a forte of mine, and I find pleasure in educating people. So yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell, and thank you all guys for listening and coming here, yeah, and doing your job to keep Mason City Schools great. Thank you.
The best presentation we've had.
Yeah.
You bet.
You are delightful.
Thank you, Elizabeth.